Hey everyone, it's Raven. Welcome back to the nest. What I have for you all today, I will be diving into the topic of savings. As you see, I have some nice prop money laid out, so we're going to do a little bit of demonstrating as well in this video. We are going to be talking about mini emergency funds, true emergency funds, 401k, sinking funds, savings challenges, all those kinds of good things. So also, you will be getting your third secret word in today's video, so make sure to keep a good eye out on that for the secret word. We have one more episode to go after this one, so after this episode we will have our fourth episode next week. After next week's episode, you will have all 4 secret words that you will email to me to enter yourself into the drawing for the $100. So if you are interested in today's topic, stay tuned. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and start talking about types of savings. So there are a couple of different avenues of savings, but I'm not going to go through all of them. I'm going to go kind of through like the major big ones. Now, I'm going to start first with mini emergency funds, and that one is kind of self-explanatory in the name. It is a mini emergency fund. That would be something that you would access in the event of some kind of small, emergency that is like really outside of your like your everyday spending and your everyday budget, something that may come up. It's not like, I want to get a purse type thing, but it's more of like if some type of emergency comes up and you need the money, then you would access your mini emergency fund for something like that. Now, the actual amount in your mini emergency fund kind of will differ from person to person. Now, my mini emergency fund is essentially the equivalent of 1 month worth of expenses for me. And I keep that just kind of like a buffer in my Wells Fargo account. It's actually saved in like a savings account, but it's technically connected to my checking account for like if I were to have overdraft situations or anything like that. But essentially it sits in a savings account because I just prefer for it to sit in a savings account. Like if it's something I'm just going to be sitting, it might as well earn some interest while it's sitting. So I have that kind of sitting over there to the side, and like I said, I consider it my buffer. That's what some people they may call it a mini emergency. Some people call it a account buffer. I kind of look at them as the same thing. Account buffer, mini emergency, like I said, I just look at it the same thing. So I have a screenshot here of my Wells Fargo, kind of like the entire app, which one of the accounts probably looks very familiar to you. The one at the bottom is the account that I'm using to hold my money for my not my sinking funds, but my savings challenges that I kind of update you all on every week. So you probably recognize that account at the bottom. And then you see the account in the middle that has the $3,000 some odd dollars. That is my mini emergency fund. And then the one above it is basically my regular everyday checking that I use to pay my bills from. So that in a sense is, what my kind of mini emergency fund looks like. Like I said, it's a different amount for each person. Some philosophies may say that a mini emergency fund should be like $1,000. Not to say I disagree with that at all, but it just has to be a comfortable amount for you that would benefit you in a situation where you have a mini emergency. So there is that mini emergency fund. Now your true emergency fund, this is going to be like the big one. This is the fund that you would access in the event of a true catastrophe. I'm talking like job loss. I mean, just some real catastrophe has occurred. Now, your true emergency fund, I feel, in my opinion, now there are, like I said, there are many different philosophies out there, but my opinion, I feel that your true emergency fund should hold anywhere between 3 to 6 months worth of expenses. Now, I know the common, theme is that it's 6 months worth of expenses. Reason why I say 3 to 6 months worth of expenses for your true emergency fund is because, if you all may remember, I did a video maybe a couple of weeks back about creating a bare bones budget. Now, I may have mentioned this in that video, maybe not, can't remember, but essentially my bare bones budget If I were to have to go down to that, basically eliminating any type of extras and all that kind of stuff, getting me down to a bare bones budget, I could honestly stretch 3 months worth of expenses for me. I could stretch that amount beyond 3 months, if that makes sense. So let me back up. So if I were to save up 3 months of my actual expenses, like as my budget stands today, if I were to save that into like a little fund, 3 months worth, if I were to revert to bare bones, that 3 months worth of regular expenses that I saved up, that would stretch me beyond 3 months. So that's why I say with my true emergency fund, I will say 3 to 6 months. And it's like a building process. You may have to start, with 1 month and then build it up. You may get to 3 months and then may have to, maybe take a break and go to something else, another goal, another financial goal of yours. But I'd like I said, I just say 3 to 6 month worth of expenses. Because like I said, if a true emergency were to occur and you had to dip into your emergency fund, you probably are going to be tightening up things in other areas anyway. That's why I say 3 to 6 months. 6 months is definitely probably the smartest decision, but I would say minimally it should be somewhere around like 3 months minimally. So that is our true emergency fund. Next, I'm going to talk about a little segment I like to call Secure the Future. And what I mean by secure the future, that is going to be savings related to your future or your family's future or your children's future. So that is going to be your 401ks, IRA, 403b, which is like the education savings plan that you can get for like your children. You can even open retirement based, like custodial based accounts, retirement for kids. There's lots of different options out there related to future savings. But I would at least recommend that you have at least one kind of future, savings, even if you just start with a simple 401k at your job. And even if you're not contributing like the max to it, or, when I first got I don't say my very first job, but I'll say my first job in nursing, I was only contributing like 1% into my 401k, but it was something. That's my thing. It was something. I was contributing something to my future and putting some money aside. So I would definitely say, if anything, definitely have some kind of account, something where you can be securing your future. Even if your job doesn't offer 401k, or if you don't want to do the 401k through your job, which sometimes it may be smarter to do it through your job, because sometimes you get matches and things like that, which are kind of bonuses for using the retirement options through your employer. But if you don't want to do it through your employer, you can go out and open an IRA yourself. There's there's a Roth IRA, and then there's a traditional IRA. I won't go too deep off into the weeds. Just wanted to kind of emphasize that having some type of saving situation that is securing your future is important, and it's key. Then lastly, I want to talk about sinking funds. Sinking funds make me very excited, and this is why I have this kind of prop money set up here for the demonstration with sinking funds. So essentially what sinking funds are, let's say for example you have you pay your car registration every year. Now in Memphis, car registration here for us isn't as expensive, so what I do now is I just plan it into my budget for that particular month that my registration is due. But back when money wasn't, not to say I'm just rich now, but I'm definitely much more fortunate now than I was in the past. In the past, paying for car registration was something that could have been devastating to my entire budget if I did not plan for it. So with the concept of a sinking fund, you know that you have this expense that comes up every single year. So what you do is you set aside a certain amount of money each month, each payday, each whatever, leading up to the time where it's time for you to pay for that particular expense. Now, example that I just gave, car registration. So car registration in Memphis, I think it's like $120, something like that. I could be wrong. I think it's like $120. So let's say I know that that's coming, all year long. I know that that's coming. So I just paid my car registration, so I know it's going to come up again next year. $120. That essentially comes out to, for a 12-month span, that comes out to $10 a month if I want to start saving and have it ready for the next year. Now, you don't necessarily have to work it out that way where you're doing it each year for the particular expense, but you can maybe start planning 6 months ahead of when it's due, or a couple of weeks in advance, just so that you don't have to pay that money out in one lump sum at one time. And so, like I said, back to the example with the car registration. So let's say we are going to plan the entire year around this. So like I said, it's $120. We need to save $10 a month. Well, I know right off the bat that I'm usually paid twice a month. When you pay bi-weekly, you typically get two paychecks in a month. So if that's $10 a month, that means that each paycheck I need to save $5. So you get your $5, that's your first paycheck, second paycheck, third, so on and so forth. So each payday, I'm setting aside my $5. So after all of my paydays over the course of a year, I essentially have saved my $120 for my car registration. So I'm just going to count it out because we're going to make sure it's 120. 5, 10, 50, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80, 90, 95, 100, 5, 10, 15, 20. Yep. So this is our $120. Remember, we saved $5 each paycheck leading up to when my car registration is going to be due. So now we have come upon the day that car registration is due. I will whip out this $120 that I have in these $5 bills, or wherever I happen to saved it, because you can save these. You can do sinking funds electronically, which that's how I do them, or you can do them physically with cash. Just have to be careful and safe with your cash, but you can save it in cash. So once the day comes that I need to pay my car registration, boom, whip it out and we got it. Very, very easy, and you don't have to basically take that from your regular budget because you've already saved it up throughout the year in order to pay for it. So, and you can have sinking funds for whatever. I mean, whatever your heart may desire to have a sinking fund for. I'm going to show you, this is of course my budget sheet here, and I have a sinking fund section right here. Currently I only have 3 sinking funds, and that's only because I'm kind of living a super budgeted life because I'm trying to buy a house. So I have cut out a lot of my sinking funds, which when I first started my channel, I want to say maybe 6 sinking funds, because I think I was saving for car registration in addition to these 3. I think I had car registration, holidays, and something else. I can't remember what the other one was, but I had something else as well. So, and some of these are like running sinking funds, and what I mean kind of like running and revolving sinking funds. I'm not necessarily saving up for a particular purpose, but it's just I'm putting money towards this category because I know at some point I'm going to use it. Like that is my car sinking fund. I use this one to pay for like car maintenance and things like that, and I put $10 towards that each payday. I may not have to do anything maintenance-wise with my car, maybe twice a year, but just the fact that I'm constantly saving that $10 each payday, I'm building up a little fund that I can pull from when it is time for me to get like an oil change or a new tire or something like that. Whereas I don't have to pull that from my actual budget. All right, so now I'm going to go into a little bit about how to build up savings. We talked about what savings are. Let's talk about how to build them up. There are several different ways. I mean, there is the traditional way where you can just set aside a certain amount of money each payday or whatever into just a savings account. You can do that, but that's not fun. It's not very fun. I know, because that's the way I used to save. It's not fun. And I just feel that savings should be fun. I feel that finance and money, it should be enjoyable. It should be something that you look forward to doing so that you can continue to do it. Not to say finances cannot be stressful, because they really, really can. But I think if you incorporate things to kind of make it interesting, it may not seem as stressful. So what I have here are some printables that I have created. Some of them are for free, and some of them I have them for listed. I have them for a price listed in my Etsy shop. So I'll just kind of go through them, which these you all should be familiar with. You see these every Monday. These are my savings challenges sheets. These are the savings challenges that I'm doing for this current year. So one way to save up, to kind of start building up your savings, is to do savings challenges. There are so many different savings challenges out there, y'all. So many. I will link right up above here the video that I did, I think towards the end of 2020, when I was kind of getting ready for 2021. I will link that above, where I kind of go into different types of savings challenges. I can't remember all that I listed there, but I know I did talk about these two in there. So savings challenges are a great way to build up savings. It kind of, like I said, makes savings interesting and fun to where you don't even realize that you're saving sometimes. Because I swear, when I'm doing these two savings challenges, sometimes I don't even feel like I'm actually saving money. I mean, not that I don't feel like I'm saving, because I do see the money going up and up, but I mean like the actual physical act of saving, I kind of don't even realize that I'm doing it. So, and it's like I said, and it's fun, and you can find like cute little fun printables to kind of track it and all of that. And so savings challenges is definitely a way to build up your savings. So these two I actually have below in the description box. They typically are in the description box for all of my videos, and I'll probably keep it that way for the rest of the year, because these are the ones that I'm using. So these are linked down below in the description box if you want to get them for, you know, just get them for free. This one here, I mean, if you want to start it now, you can. It just, you know, you'll be starting kind of not at the beginning of the year, but you can still use it, you know, for all the continued weeks, you know. And then this one here, you can pick this up and start it on any month that you want. I mean, you can start this really at any point, but I was just saying, if you want to start on the 1st, you can pick this up and start, you know, on any month. And like I said, it could really help you build up your savings. So if you currently don't have a true emergency fund, or if you don't have a mini emergency fund, it's okay. Don't feel like you're just, you know, a financial failure if you don't have these things. There's only failure where you don't try. I'm going to say that. When you don't try, that is the true failure. Not succeeding is, I don't feel that that's failure as long as you've tried. So like I said, these are available in the description box down below. And these here are actually ones that are, and I printed this on regular printer paper. You can probably like see through it. But I don't print these on regular printer paper. I print it on thicker weight paper, but anyway. These are two kind of tracker things that I have created that are actually on my Etsy shop for sale. I'm in the process of creating more of like these in particular, like these different save this much in this many weeks, you know, that kind of fun thing. So this one is for saving $1,000 in 12 weeks. And essentially what you would do is each week you would save, you know, the designated piggy bank amount. And you don't have to go in order or anything like that. You could simply, you know, pick one for one week and do it, and then pick another one for another week. You definitely don't have to go like in order or anything. So this is a great idea. This one here is like a little piggy bank tracker. This is for like if you have a set amount. This would be kind of a cute thing to use for a particular sinking fund, like how I mentioned the car registration fees. You could use this to kind of track your amounts. So, and I'm going to try to make different variations of this one. This one kind of only holds like 10 slots where you would basically fill in as you save each amount. Like the example I gave here for $1,000 being your goal, and there's 10 open spaces. So, you know, each space could be $100 or, you know, something like that. I'm going to make like, so I'm going to create maybe a couple different, you know, ones for this so that you can have different savings amounts and different amounts for the open slots to color in. And then I will definitely be making more of these. I want to do, and I want to make them budget friendly for, you know, for most people. So I may even like lengthen this one out, like still do one for $1,000, but maybe lengthen it out to like 20 weeks or something like that. Cause like I said, I want to make it very budget friendly for everybody. So I'll definitely make, you know, like I said, like more of these, maybe even do like a $5,000 one, or, you know, I'm just going to try to do different variations of stuff like these. So these are really cute and fun ways to build up your savings. Last tip as far as building up savings, bonuses and tax refunds. It's kind of a touchy subject. I know. I am one of those. I'm not gonna say I was one of those people. I am one of those people. When I get a bonus or a tax refund, I'm just like, okay, yeah, I know it's extra money, but I kind of need it to spend on other things, either to pay bills or pay something off or whatever. But I've started recently trying to get myself into the mindset of thinking, Raven, this is money you didn't even know you was gonna get anyway. So think of it as that money you didn't even have anyway, and use it to build up your savings. Even if you have to spend some of it, that's definitely okay. But definitely when you're getting bonuses, tax refunds, or even like the child tax credits, that whole thing that's going around right now, try to save some of it. I mean, I know people are definitely on hard times right now, and I'm super sympathetic to that. But I'm also I feel very strongly about savings, and that savings is so important for people, to have you some nice money tucked away somewhere. So like I said, even if you're getting these bonuses and tax refunds and child tax credits and things like that, even if you have to spend the money, because we want you to live and we want you to be okay, definitely. But if you are able to, definitely try to save some of it. Just start putting, a little bit away at a time, just to build you up, like I said, a little nest egg, so that if something does happen, you can have money to pull from to continue to be okay. Alright guys, so if you enjoyed this video, definitely make sure to go ahead and give me a thumbs up. If you are not already subscribed, definitely go ahead and hit that subscribe button as well as the notification bell so that you don't miss any more of my videos. Thanks guys. Peace.